Brief intro of two adverts. To analyze the culture of two countries, which are America and India, according to Hofstede dimension, advertisement by Olay, which is beauty product company, are used. Both the advertisement shows that there is tremendous difference in the culture of both the countries. India has used celebrities and their personal story for their adverts, whereas United States used upcoming model and their pictures to motivate people and buy products. Introduction of markets. India. India market is broadly segregated into urban and rural market and is attracting marketers from across the world. Global corporations view India as one of the key markets from where future is likely to emerge. The growth in India's consumer market would be primarily driven by favorable population composition and increasing disposable income. The maximum consumer spending occurs in food, housing, consumer durables, and transport and communication sectors. United States of America. The United States of offer the largest consumer market on earth with a GDP of US dollar 20 trillion and 325 million people population. Household spending is the highest in the world, accounting for nearly a third of global household consumption. The maximum consumer spending occurs in food, product innovation, manufacturing, and branding. Cultures using Hofstede dimension. Culture is combination of pattern or behavior of people of group over a period. This pattern includes their intellect, belief, art, morals, laws, and custom and tradition. Hofstede refers to culture as the collective programming of mind which distinguishes the members of one group or category of people from another. This is the difference in index of United States and India according to Hofstede culture theory. Power distance. In India, there is appreciation for hierarchy and a top-down structure in society and organizations. If one were to encapsulate the Indian attitude, one could use the following words and phrases. Dependent on the boss or the power holder for directions, acceptance of unequal rights between the power privileged and those who are lesser down in the pecking order. In USA, individuals in societies are not equal and it express the attitude of the culture toward these power inequalities among us. Power distance is defined as the extent to which the less powerful member of institution and organization which within a country expect and accept that power is distributed unequally. Individualism and collectivism. India is a society with both collectivist and individualist traits. The collectivist side means that there is a high preference for belonging to a larger social framework in which individuals are expected to act in according to a great good of one defined in a group. In situations, the actions of the individuals are influenced by the various concepts such as opinion of one's family, extended family, neighbors, work group, and other such wider social and that one has affiliation toward. The American premise of liberty and justice for all. This is evidenced by the explicit emphasis on the equal rights in all aspects of American society and government. American society have individualist traits. Within American organizations, hierarchy is established for convenience. Superiors are accessible, and managers rely on individual employees and team for their expertise. Masculinity. India considered as masculine society. India is masculine in terms of visual display of success and power. The designer brand label, the flash, and the orientation that goes with advertising one's success is widely practiced. USA is high in masculinity, and this can be seen in typical American behavior pattern. This can be explained by the combination of high masculinity drive together with the most individualist drive in the world. Uncertainty avoidance. India has a medium low preference for avoiding uncertainty in India, there is a acceptance of imperfection. Nothing has to be perfect, nor has to go exactly as planned. India is traditionally a patient country where tolerance for unexpected is high, even welcomed as a break from monotony. The US scores below average on the uncertainty avoidance dimension. There is a fair degree of acceptance for new idea, innovative products, and willingness to try something new or different, whether it pertains to technology, business practice, or food. Longer term orientation. India with an intermediate score in this dimension, a dominant preference in Indian culture cannot be determined. Time is not linear and thus is not important as the Western societies which typically score low on this dimension. Societies that have a high score on pragmatism typically forgive a lack of punctuality. Americans are prone to analyze new information to check whether it is true. Thus, the culture doesn't make most Americans pragmatic, but this should not be confused with the fact that Americans are very practical, being reflected by the can-do mentality. Comparison between cultures using advertisements. Power distance. According to Hofstede, advertisement of Olay shows India's high power distance as they use celebrities for them, as people follow celebrities and listen to their condemnation without much reasoning. But in USA, it is low as they don't look up to the celebrities for guidance and direction, but they seek evidence, facts, and utilize reasoning in decision making. Individualism. According to Hofstede, advertisement of Olay shows India has individual culture as in starting it focus on celebrity husband feedback, which is indirect as compliment he gives is also indirect. And it carry on with the personal life of female celebrity. But in US, the photograph is seen as visible feedback to audience and her confident smile is symbolic of her individualism. Individualism has been enormous success in motivating younger women to realize their potential and understand themselves. Masculinity. According to Hofstede, advertisement of Olay shows Indian advertisement exhibits low masculinity. The concept of an ideal society is neither patriarchy and matriarchy because both fall under high masculinity index. When it comes to US advertisement, it shows dominant value like material reward and success. Uncertainty avoidance. According to Hofstede, advertisement of Olay shows both the countries believe in journalists and use common sense in brand advertising by connecting the customer needs. The Indian adverts portrays that innovating does not threaten but brought a positive change for actors in the advertisement. The US advert tempts people to try the product in order to look 10 years younger in 4 weeks because it is visible or viable strategy for market which has a low uncertainty avoidance score. Long-term orientation. According to Hofstede, advertisement of always shows that the longer-term orientation index, there is a capacity to accumulate tradition into modern perspective. It means pragmatism, high tendency to save, perseverance in attaining result, thrift, and there is leading concern as a demand of the virtue must be respected. Therefore, India has a long-term orientation, whereas US is short-term orientation. Conclusion: the research points to changing culture dimension in advertisement, which are slowly shifting from the initial position that Hofstede had assigned through these studies. Even though the study is done at the micro level, the investment in terms of money on individual advert units and the special emphasis given to the global campaigns make the finding relevant. Interestingly, at the micro level, Indian ads are more amenable to interpretation than North American ads. The format and the content in North America ads are found to be insufficient and slightly ambiguous. In skincare products categories which are on the culture fault lines, current research shows that Indian advertising like to project a word which is highly individualistic, indulgent, consultative, inclusive, deal with uncertainty instead of avoiding it, and has long-term perspective. As India is an emerging country and USA an advanced and developed country, there is more chance of India adapting to Western culture due to influence of liberalization, globalization, and modernization. Advertising need to become enlightened in its communication and play a role in creating a society that is perfect in all its senses. This is true to an extent because by controlling the use of these cultural dimensions and violating assigned cultural norms in advertising, ads have the capacity to usher in cultural changes or reflect the changing face of society. Thank you. References.